Drake just said, he made a comparison to him being kind of like Jay-Z and J. Cole being like Nas. How do you feel about a comparison like that?
I salute those young men, you know what I mean? I salute them, and I'm looking forward to them to grab the torch and keep it going, grab the baton and jump in the race. And let's go get them.
How do you feel about the new generation? Do you see there being some new artists who could really carry the torch for hip-hop for, decades to come?
Yeah, definitely. Now, maybe like 3 years ago I didn't see it that much, but definitely now.
Are there any particular artists that
Well, you named them, you know what I'm saying? You named them.
We just interviewed Jay Electronica at Pay Dues, and he had some great things to say about you. Is there any chance that you guys are going to hop on a collaboration project, or maybe just some songs? Or?
Yeah, Jay Electronica is definitely one of the guys that's getting ready to come out there and shake it up. I worked with him before, plan to work with him a lot more.
Here the buzz, you got this like New West versus like your West Coast veterans and whatnot. And I'm wondering, is it the same like in the New York scene? Like, do you have artists that have been around that are kind of reaching out to help younger artists, or is it kind of divisive? Like, is it kind of like, well, youngins got to do their own thing, we got to do our own thing?
I would say it's a little different in New York because New York is like, quote unquote birthplace of the rap game. So it's a different culture there in a little ways because you have a real competitive street-based thing happening where it all starts from the cypher on the street or just building a name up. So it doesn't really matter how big another artist is. I think the new artists, they want to earn their stripes. They want to get their respect by just being good. And the artists who've been around are continuing on their legacies and doing what they do. It's two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see it. I don't know. It could be there. I don't see it. I think everybody's just trying to come up with creative records, and that's how you get recognized. I don't really see it like being a beef between. If there was, there might be a rapper that comes out and disses somebody for attention, but it's not that deep.
Distant Relative is all about speaking about human beings being related, you know what I mean? And people being related and common origin of all people. So that is really the movement.
Anything you want to add to that?
Nah, whatever the man said there, whatever he say, I agree.
Cause music is the way to convey to you what I'm facing. Placing my life in front of your eye for your observation. Now if you can't relate, then maybe you are too complacent. Athletes today are scared to make Muhammad Ali statements. What's up with tomorrow? Will you lead? Will you follow?
When people listen to the album, like, are there specific topics that you want them to be more involved in?
Tell you what, we just want them to be a little bit more interested in Africa. So perhaps now them can start to research some topics for themselves. You know what I mean? Africa there's hundreds and thousands of topics for people to research, all natures of topics, not just topics of dire situations. You have topics of history, topics of victory, so the whole thing is really just inspire interest in Africa at large.
Word is out, hysteria you heard about. Nas and Junior Gone came to turn it out. Body the verses till I scream murder out. The kings is back, time to return the crown. Who won it? Tuck your chain with dude coming. Renegades that appeal your back like new hunters. Bet your Jews on it, you don't want to lose on it. Either move on or move on.
Speak about the deep-rooted connections between reggae and hip-hop.
The deep-rooted connection. Well, the deep-rooted connection, I mean, if you check the history of both genres of music, they have really similar beginnings, and they have intertwined beginnings. This is not the first time that reggae and hip hop are doing collaborations. It's not the first time that one genre has inspired the other. So they have that common history together, and of course, also both genres kind of really come from where it's like the ground level up. The It comes from the street expression, the true, honest street expression. You know, whether it's to be seen as positive or negative in the eyes of people or listeners, you know what I mean? But it's the true, honest street expression, and it built from the ground up, both genres.
When the market started trading, a lot of we got a weeping more. Only the strong will continue. Do you have it in you? 'Cause we've got a journey to go.
I've heard you both say you didn't want it to be a Nas album, you don't want it to be a Damian album. How do you collaboratively find that common ground as artists?
It's simple. Simple to find that common ground. You know, we both want to do something that excites us while we're making the records. We want to feel good. Like, yo, this is feeling good to both of us for many reasons. So once we accomplish that with each song, we're good.
Going into a project, what did you learn from each other as far as things that you didn't know about each other's personalities? I mean, you guys worked on it. This has almost been 2 years since the projects first started.
Yeah, we're cool. We're both cool. We got a lot in common like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. You know, you see him, he's a stand-up guy. I'm a stand-up guy, and that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, see him.
I saw that NECA is the opening act for your tour. She's an amazing new artist. How did you pick her to be the one?
I mean, you just said that she's an amazing new artist. You know, the record, on our record, we're speaking about similar things. She's speaking about her being from over there as a whole different dynamic to the talk. You know, you're getting it straight from the promised land, from the motherland, you know, herself. You know, so NECA comes to bring that energy to the whole table. She's an incredible artist. Her records are strong. You know, her whole style is for real.
I heard you jumped on the remix for her upcoming single. Is that true?
Yeah, I did.
Was that one of those, like, would she send the track to you, or did you guys actually vibe on it together, or what was that process like?
I heard the song Heartbeat. I love the song. We spoke on the phone, and she was telling me what she wanted me to do, and that was kind of interesting, you know. And the accent is very thick, so, but I knew what she wanted, so I just tried to give her what she wanted.
Kanon's also on the album. What was it like working with him, and what did his energy bring to the project?
Kanon is actually a great inspiration toward the project, you know what I mean? We've been working with Kanon for a couple of years now, you know. We've been touring together for quite a few years and doing music together. And these songs that are on this album just happen to be, you know, some of that music that we've been doing together, you know what I mean? So, you know, as when Nas said, Kanon represent the land itself, the soil itself. You know, he's from Somalia. So it's a real deal when you hear him speaking, you know. It's straight from the lion's mouth, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's what Kanon represents to what we're doing also.
We're gonna mix a little hip-hop record tonight, y'all. We're gonna do some distance for very relatives. Check it out, y'all.
Any last words that you guys want the fans to know about the album?
Yeah, man, check this out. Check the record out, man. Lay back, do what you do, and get into it, man. Something new, something a little extraordinary, something that's a little grimy, something that's like inspiring. You know what I mean? What you say?
Everyone check it out, May 18th, Distant Relatives.
They say I'm so low-key, I'm socially awkward. Only niggas who really know me, who I talk with. They smile in the light, hate in the dark. You call it beef, to me it's just a fucking walk in the park. Cause you are who you are when nobody's looking. That's who you are, so when the cash and the cars is gone the day after tomorrow, don't be axing the ball. Ski mask it hard like the way you rapping your balls. I could ride on.
Nas, you have a line on Luda's I Do It For Hip Hop. First line says, I'm so low key, I'm socially awkward. That line means a lot to me because I kind of feel that way sometimes. How do you feel that line represents your career as far as like keeping the media at a distance maybe, or like not letting people who are in your immediate circle really get to see what you're about?
It's just that, you know, it's like, it's like when you low key and then you have to come out and do media things and stuff like that. You know, you gotta prepare for cameras in your face and all that, and the whole thing. So, you know, at first I'm like, sometimes I take to it like, you know, like a well to water, you know what I mean? But other times it's like, you know, it strikes me, surprises, it shocks me sometimes. It comes from real life to doing all this stuff, you know what I mean? So I just do what I do. It's easy. It's not hard, but sometimes it's kind of like you gotta remember you're dealing with a beast, you know, a media beast, you know what I mean, out there. And it ain't something I like all the time, you know. That's all.
Stay tuned, this is the game of life, and these are the cards I've been dealt. Give you the real deal, live footage, and you can feel for yourself. It's uncut and raw, ghetto reporter. Since before the new world was in order, embedded in places you dreaded and never thought of. The corners, the streets, and projects, the one-bedroom apartments, the hood. I'm the voice for all of y'all misunderstood. It's because I'm hip-hop. Maybe I was born from the struggle, hustle and hover above the earth. Observe the concrete jungle and expose all lies. From the block, it's all lies. Revolution of the mind. It will be. It will be. Giving nothing but truth.
Ever since I heard Jungle J and Bridging the Gap, I've always wondered if you and your pops will ever do an album together. Is that something that's ever in the works, or is that something that you thought about?
Nah, I don't. I thought about it before, but not as of late. No.